Memories. Memories.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to week 4 here in CGL season 12. We are here tonight for an open tier PC match. My name is Jeff alongside Fish here. How you feeling tonight, Fish? It's good to have you on the broadcast.
I'm feeling amazing, but it's 3:30 a.m. But I couldn't be more excited for this game of Overwatch. I'm feeling good.
Oh man, I mean, you must have a lot of caffeine going to still be that energetic at 3:30 in the morning. But hey, I admire it. I admire it. We've got a good one here to keep y'all energized tonight, friends. Bonzi Buddies taking it on Cerberus Esports. Bonzi Buddies have been flawless here thus far, looking to stamp their ticket into the midseason tournament going on all next week. A win tonight will solidify it. Cerberus looking to play spoiler.
Yep, that's absolutely the midseason tournament. Obviously, bonuses on offer for the winner of the midseason tournament. It could be important in the final standings at the end.
Oh, it's important just for bragging rights, right? I mean, of course. I mean, you've got that confidence of winning the midseason tournament. You could absolutely ride that all the way through to the end. And yeah, you got a little extra points to help you out along the way. Let's take a look at our rosters here for tonight. Bonzi Bodies. I mean, they've been playing for a while. Sugar Arrow, a name you might recognize if you've kept up with any of the T2, T3 scene. Certainly a force to be reckoned with there in the DPS department, Fish.
Yeah, Sugar Arrow is obviously the big threat on the DPS, the hit scan. One of the best DPS in tier 2. But also, obviously, Zebra's Doomfist is absolutely the thing to watch out for. They play such a unique style that forces other teams off what they're comfortable on, which is why, honestly, Bonzi Buddies are quite so strong. So it's definitely Zebra's Doomfist to look out for as well.
Yeah, this Doomfist style is always fun to watch. Yeah, you might notice I was wearing Dallas Field jersey. My poor fuel fell to Goushway and his godlike Doomfist earlier today. So I'm expecting Bonzi Buddies, I mean, pulling out something similar with this. I mean, the meta absolutely fits this team so impeccably well, and I mean, a lot of experience behind this squad. Bonzi Bodies most recently run the Toronto Pride Cup, playing themselves. Otherwise, some of these players have been competing in T2. Sugar Arrow, one of them, as well. Otters plays in collegiate and plays in the competitive scene there. So it's a lot of experience. This is going to be a tough ask for Cerberus Esports, but let's take a look at their starters and see what we can expect out of this squad. These names I'm not as familiar with here, Fish.
Yeah, me neither. Not as familiar with all of these players, but I mean, you never know in Overwatch. It's a game where pretty much anyone can beat anyone in any day. But also, these players are at this level, so they're absolutely not there to be written off. They can do anything today on this match.
And they have competed in Open Division and been part of the T3 scene, sitting at 2-1 currently here heading into this match. They, I believe, are in 4th place, if memory serves. I mean, not doing too shabby at all. And like you say, there is tough competition all the way through this open tier. So no slouches at all. And Cerberus can absolutely play spoiler to Bonzi Buddies. If Cerberus pulls out a win, I believe, in 4 maps or less, they will actually dash the hopes of Bonzi Buddies making it into the midseason tournament.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they can do that, because it'd be a big upset for Bonzi Buddies not to get into that midseason tournament.
And just a reminder, it's top 2 from each group, 4 groups here in the PC Open tier division. So top 2 from there, 8 moving forward. Bonzi Buddies currently holding 2nd here in Group 1. And that's where they hope to finish. Trailblazers already finished with a perfect 4-0 and a perfect 12-0 record here in Group 1. Bonzi Buddies looking to double that and move on. As we take a look at our maps to set the stage for our battle tonight.
I mean, actually, very interesting map pool, because maybe these maps aren't quite as suited to the Doomfist style as they maybe would have liked. Definitely the ability to actually play Reinhardt or play Ramattra into these comps and challenge, but also maybe on some of the other maps, play poke out the Doomfist before he can even get close to you, or just dive onto the Doomfist backline. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
I mean, I think looking at this map pool, it becomes really important for Cerberus to take Antarctic Peninsula. I feel like this is one of their best shots. Esperanza would be the other one. They have Esperanza listed as their favorite, and I interpret that to mean their best push map. So they get that one in the map pool here in week 4. Blizzard World Route 66, I mean, they've got some high ground to work with. I think it's enough for Zebra to really make lives difficult. I think it makes this opening map kind of a must-win for Cerberus Esports.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely the map that I think they probably have the best chance of causing an upset on. But also, starting on the first map, getting a win is absolutely crucial to the way that this series is going to go.
Oh, that momentum's so important, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
and also if you can force a team like Bonzi Buddies uncomfortable, especially if they're going to start off and just go right into this Doomfist comp as we expect them to do. They're not going to play around with trying to pull out an Orisa or trying to play the brawl here on Antarctic Peninsula, going right into what we know them for. If Cerberus can shut this down here and now, it will speak volumes.
Interesting here, Bonzi Buddies are obviously rolling out on the Life Weaver just to maybe try and keep the Doomfist up as long as they can. And the Orisa out for Cerberus, and they're also on the Ilari. So they're more damage than they have on Bonzi Buddies' side.
Yeah, this is a variation of the gunner composition here from Cerberus, become very popular. That backline can do so much damage. Both of them very, very powerful and have to be reckoned with on those angles. Bonzi Buddies are falling back as David and Cerberus, however, going to push forward, find the angles to work with. Zero, those worked all the way around to the back, and Mare has already gone down. Big punch, and Sino falls certainly thereafter. Both DPS gone. Bonzi Buddies with a swift and clean first point.
I mean, you just already see there the skill of Zebra on that Doomfist is unbelievable. He just manages to kill 4 players, and I mean, you can't really do anything if you don't really shut him down. You just let him do whatever he wants, and they were so split on Cerberus that they struggle to deal with the Doomfist. They need to get the Orisa right in the Doomfist's face to stop him from accessing their backline like that.
One fight, Zebra's already got old. Sugar Arrow not far behind either. Bonzi Buddies putting out a lot of damage into what is being known as the gunner comp, as the damage comp. Cerberus going to work around to the backside once again. Ant Matrix out, but Zebra has already circumvented it. Just gone right on in, giving room for Sugar Arrow to clean up everything. 4K here for Sugar Arrow. Make it 5. Why not? That's the ace.
And just like that, Sugar Arrow this time is the one that pops off and changes the game. You see the amount of star power this team has. Just the skill that he shows again, just to hit all those railgun shots. I mean, it's already looking tough, this one is, to push back into, just because of the raw skill that Bonzi Buddies have on these heroes.
That was an important energy javelin from Elizon to knock Sugaroo off of that perch. And bought a lot of space here. Cerberus with a nice quick move, using the speed of Midnight Mare. They've worked their way around coastal side. They're trying to deal with the Doomfist. And they have forced Zebra out for the moment. Turn their tail to the back. Or turn their eyes towards their back, rather, where Zebra has just landed for the Meteor Strike. And, well, it's taken too much time. David's trying to bring this back here with Attack Visor. Got one with it, but Zebra over the top, able to finish them off. And there is no more guns left here standing. Cerberus, they put up a fight here in this next engagement, but Bonzi Buddies still walk away with it.
Yeah, Cerberus do put a good fight up, especially in the mid-fight. They managed to find a couple of kills, which you think might be important. But Bonzi Buddies keep their 2 most important players alive, and they end up just winning the fight for them. I mean, Cerberus definitely show a little bit of potential in that fight. They have ultimates coming up here that can win them this next fight.
Oop used early. Alizon's going to get the touch. Has to use pretty much every cooldown to do it. Sound barrier out from Cerberus on deployment. David's already down. It wasn't in time. It's Terror Surge out, trying to find anything on this point, coupled with an Ant Matrix, but Cerberus are just not finding the goods. Bonzi Buddies are staying too elusive. They're hiding around, popping it out only at just the right time. And it is well played. A clean and decisive surgical first round here on Antarctic Peninsula.
Yeah, great round from Bonzi Buddies. They get the point first. They never give it up. And you can see why. I mean, you can maybe try and analyze what went wrong, but I honestly think the biggest thing is just the individual skill of both Sugar Arrow and Zebra. They just dumped on him twice. 2 fights, the first 2. That really broke the back of Cerberus having any chance in the map. And you see, obviously, the first fight, Zebra getting 4, and then the 5 from Sugar Arrow in the second. It's going to be very hard for Cerberus to overcome the individual skill of Bonzi Buddies. But if they play together, and I do like the Sombra pick here, because if the Sombra can shut down Zebra, they definitely have a chance, especially with the Orisa as well. And also they have made the switch to the Brig to try and protect their backline better.
I mean, that just goes to show you what an impact Zebra is having. Cerberus are investing heavily into some counters very early on in this series, already fearlessly making swaps. I like the adaptation. It can get dangerous. Let's see how it works out for them as they make their approach here for the first fight in our second round.
Yeah, they take this high ground, which is obviously what they need to do to make sure the Doomfist doesn't get right on top of them. The Brig finds a nice a nice whip shot to get him away, but they do lose the first pick out.
I mean, once the whip shot is out, Zebra is free to move in, playing around that cooldown beautifully, and just got in and opened things up like a tin can. It just stuck the crowbar and pried that defense wide open. Or at least the forces of Cerberus. They weren't quite defending just yet, but you know what I mean. He got through those ranks, broke them down.
Yeah, you see, he just makes so much space after the whip shot is used, and then that allows Sugar Arrow to find a pick. However, Cerberus maybe not in a bad position here. They find the Lucio. It's going to maybe made half of Bonzi Buddies disengage, and it looks like they're going to find Sugaroo as well. Sugaroo was left probably not a great position as they push into this next fight.
Yeah, it was a bit bold to hold as close as they did and not continue to disengage. I mean, it was an overextension. It was hubris that put Bonzi Buddies in this position in the first place. As Grim Reaper got caught out all the way back when, is now alone on point. Holding this down is our one contesting. You can see up on the high ground as the Tree of Life comes out from Bonzi Buddies, but Grim Reaper was not inside of it. Does not get the immediate heal factor. Still the point, well, Cerberus has managed to flip it on over. Zebra is going to go down, and finally Cerberus are able to stabilize.
Yeah, Cerberus actually are playing this control point quite well because they are sacrificing their brig in quite a lot of these fights to actually get Zebra to go in. And then they trap Zebra in. They manage to get him in, but also the Life Weaver in this comp is so vulnerable to the Sombra. Just considering how big of a target Life Weaver is for that Sombra, and especially with no dash when they get hacked.
Oh, Cerberus got put all the way back in the corner by the Molten Core, trying to get out, but it's too late. Bonzi Buddies had all the room in the world to play with, and play they did.
Yeah, they certainly did. So just the Zebras engage again was so good, and this time they find the brig, and it ends up in finding the rest of the team. Alazan can't maybe shut down Zebra as much as he would have liked. But they got 43% on the board. They can definitely build from here, win this next fight with EMP, which they should if they manage to catch the enemy Lucio.
Oh, and 91% towards a Terror Surge as well. Could be a mean combo. Grim Reaper is the target. Got eyes on it, and Grim Reaper is hacked. Immediately trying to get focused. The boot back, and the heals are starting to get through. Grim Reaper's able to get the sound barrier out, but all the while, Alazan finds that potent target in Sugar Arrow, and it's bolstered by this rally, and Cerberus are moving forward to use the Terror Surge with it. See if they can pick off some kills. Nothing but equipment going down. In fact, Sino's the one that falls. Bonzi Buddies are able to strike back. Sugar Arrow is returning into this fight, and it's Bonzi Buddies who are now up one, using the Meteor Strike to go in deep. Zomba now shooting Cheetos from the high ground, trying to melt through the Orisa, using that overdrive, coupled it with a melee there at the end, and Bonzi Buddies are able to storm back to this thing.
Yeah, Cerberus, they almost get that EMP correct, but it's a great booth, which actually managed to deny the kill. Oh, and Zebra gets Sino so early here. Obviously, he had to give his life to touch.
I think Bonzi Buddies have started to really put a lot of their attention on Sino. It's the second time Sino has fallen early in these fights. So then we'll have to keep an eye on if that's a trend as we get the Amp Matrix in the back from Cerberus trying to move back onto this thing, but they're running right into a Tree of Life. Healing for everybody from Bonzi Buddies. It's celebratory. There's nothing but life from the boys in blue here right now as Bonzi Buddies will take our first map.
Yeah, not really much of a competition, to be perfectly honest. Bonzi Buddies in total control. I mean, just Sugar Arrow and Zebra just doing a number on the enemy team. Absolutely murking the enemy backline in every fight. I don't really see how Cerberus have a chance in that map. They do at some points fairly well with the brig, sacrificing the brig's life to maybe get Zebra in, but in a lot of the fights, Zebra manages to kill the brig and then just go on to killing the rest of the players. So it's a tough one for Cerberus to counter this brig comp, and they've lost the first map. It's not only a massive disadvantage in terms of momentum, but it's probably the map that suits their comp much more. So from here, it's very, very difficult to see a way back into the series.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we're talking about, Fish. I mean, they had to come out strong on Anarch Peninsula and show us something right out of the gate, because from now we're headed to Blizzard World, then Route 66, and though they may not be the perfect Doomfist maps, there's definitely still plenty for Zebra and the rest of Bonzi Buddies to work with. Plenty of high ground to bounce around with that Doomfist and get Sugar Arrow up and find some just disgusting angles. I mean, and I was hoping we'd get the Sugar Arrow 5K as our player of the match, because I wanted to see it again. But it was Zebra just styling on the Doomfist. That was cool too.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Sugar Arrow just taking over a lot of those fights there. But talking about the next map on Blizzard World, I'd just like to see Cerberus dig their heels in on defense, just win a couple of fights, get some momentum going, because all it can be is a couple of fights and you start to feel like you're figuring out how to play against this comp, or you maybe feel like you're starting to actually hit the shots to stop the playing. I mean, all it takes really is them suddenly to think that they know exactly how to counter it. Maybe they know exactly when to use the javelin. And if they figure that out, I mean, surely Zebra has to... If Zebra is countered, then that's the whole plan for Bonzi Buddies kind of destroyed.
They just have so many dangerous weapons. I mean, between Zomba and Sugar Arrow, it's even if Zebra is getting countered, they're demanding attention. And that alone can be enough to kind of throw you off, and can be just enough space that Sugar Arrow needs to get in and land some headshots. But I mean, I will say there's also, now we're heading into more attacker defender style maps. I mean, I think that could be a good opportunity for Cerberus here as well, because we saw them play that more kind of the shooter or gunner composition, with the Ayari and the Baptiste, and then coupling when we saw the soldier and I believe the Torb that was with it. When we saw it, it's not the only combination you can use, but defending, I think that could be a stronger composition there, where you're guaranteed a spot where you can bunker down and really set up some nice angles.
Yeah, if they can, as I said, dig their heels in there, find a spot to defend, which is really nice, where the Doomfist can't access them quite as well. Maybe on that Blizzard World first point, they can play around the different angles on the point. Maybe don't know which side the Doomfist doesn't know which side to go. That can help them. But I'd be especially looking for them to dig in on this last point, where they, if they, hopefully they would stop them before. But I think the last point is the worst Doomfist point. I think if they can dig in before that, it'd be brilliant. But I think if they can stop them on that third point, they have a chance in the map. This is probably one of the easier hybrid maps to complete, because I think some of them are very, very difficult. For example, I think that like Numbani last point is very hard with the corner, but I think this is one of the ones which is more easier to complete than that.
I'd have to agree. Cerberus are making some changes here as we head into map number 2, as we're getting Hydro coming in for Akira. I believe that was in the sports slot. That's going to be in the flex support role. So, and curious to see what that does. Hydro and Mare both listed as main support players, so Hydro listed as the Lucio player for this tape. So we'll see if that play is true and does lead itself to more maybe brawl style compositions where you tend to see the Lucio more.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see when you're swapping out your support players is maybe a little strange, but maybe they do have specific roles for who plays which hero. Although maybe that will disrupt them more than it will help. I've never really been a big fan of large rosters with big switches. I think switching DPS players is okay, because I think a lot of the time they just sit silent in the lobby and shoot things. But I think swapping the other players can often disrupt the rhythm of the team and disrupt how the team interacts with each other. But I mean, they'll be hoping that this will actually help them out.
Just a note, Hydro. I don't know if it's Sapphire or Sapphire, but it's just listed as Hydro from what we have. So that is what we're going to use, showing us the Life Weaver. But Cerberus is, of course, on the attack. Still got lots of time to change their minds on what they want to pull out. So let's take our attention onto the other side. Let's look at the defense. Bonzi Buddies. I mean, we're looking at a pharmacy coming out here. Not necessarily what I expected.
Yeah, pharmacy, the CGL Classic. It's a very different league now, but we're absolutely used to seeing this. It's an interesting composition with the Zebra Slum, Doomfist with the Pharah. I guess it's maybe more of that kind of very old style of Pharah comps where you would play with a Winston, but I feel like we've far more moved away from that style of Pharah comp now. However, they're going to pull it back to that kind of thing. They're going to play Mercy Lucio. Honestly, personally, I don't really see the point of the Lucio in this comp. You don't really speed anyone around. I'd much rather see him on Illari or Zen, actually.
This is an interesting look from Cerberus, kind of playing a rush-style support line with a dive tank and dive DPS. We'll say both of them are going to be highly mobile. I mean, it could just be straight survivability that Cerberus are after here to elude Zebra, to keep Hydro on the walls, but unfortunately did not work out here on their first attempt on Blizzard World, as both supports fall first, and it's easy cleanup from there.
Yeah, Zebra finds both supports. Zebra finds the Moira first, which is just, I mean, if you're playing Moira and if Zebra's dominating your Moira player, then you know he's really on it because your Moira has so many tools to escape. They need to make sure they keep this backline out of danger. And I mean, they have the tank to do it. The problem is there's no real danger for Zebra. If they had a Reaper or a May, Zebra might be scared about coming in. But at the moment, he has no danger really of going in because David isn't really hacking him when he goes in, which is probably not really how you want to play this Umbra. And I mean, David's dead already from the Pharah.
Yeah, it did look like David went in really deep, found a target, thought they had an opening, but just gets absolutely pounced on, and the rest of Cerberus just head back to spawn.
Yeah, they're going to switch the Sigma. They're going to switch to Poke, which I think I like, actually. I do actually like them going Poke because they can poke out, and they do find Sugaroo, but he's going to get res. They're not going to have the res, though, so presumably now they're going to go in faster. It'll be interesting to see how they take this fight. They've obviously got the Baptiste, which will help them sustain through a dive. And here comes the Doofus comes in, and here comes the barrage.
Yeah, Immortality Field was already used, and Sino was out too far. Dies first once again. So the barrage opened things up here for Bonzi buddies. Cleaning up on the back end, and half the time is gone. Oh, and that's a late stagger pick on the mirror. That hurts.
Oh, that's tough. That one is. I mean, hiding under there. You may be hoping you don't get. This is going to be another one here. Oh, this is a massacre. In the spawn room.
They're just finding pieces of Cerberus lying all over the place. Like, oh, look, here's a Zenyatta. Oh, no, there's an Ash just somewhere over. Like, they're just picking up pieces of Cerberus from all over Blizzard World. And just putting them in a nice little box, setting them right back into that room.
Yeah, I get him put in a box in that spawn room. But they do find a pick, actually, onto Zebra. They're probably the most important player in this comp. And I'm not sure they're going to be able to find a res. Unless he goes in some kind of crazy flank res play. So they just should... Oh, my God, he's done it. He's done it.
Cerberus don't track it. Otters is able to just... Metal Gear Solid, just Solid Snake, resin in the back, hiding in a box. Speaking of... David manages to get Grim Reaper. Maybe an opening here yet. But I didn't see that sound barrier come out. Was that an Ajax? I don't know.
I think it was.
Go back and look at the tape on that one, but that could be a huge swing. Zama's going to get taken down as well. Sino looking for the Moth. Mercy gets dropped to Sino. Hits him right above their head. Follows it up with a nice volley onto Zebra as well. And Cerberus Esports have done it.
Yeah, I mean, that fight, honestly. Sino playing like a prime Sparker, finding all those kills on the Hanzo. I mean, absolutely carrying his team there. But I mean, they did find the Zebra early. They should have been able to just know that the Mercy would have flanked, or maybe even just not see the Mercy. They just think about that. Well, they should have gone faster. But in the end, luckily for them, it didn't cost them.
No, they're still able to get it done when as clean as they would have liked. Nice Immortality there. David is still eventually going to fall. But you know what? I applaud your effort, Hydro. I mean, that was all you could have done as a support player. It's all we asked for is DPS.
Yeah, Zomba, just so good there. He just manages to get in. He draws out the Immortality Field with his Pulse Bomb, and then he finds a couple more kills. And I mean, Cerberus now have 5 ults, so they definitely have an opportunity in this. And they're coming up against no support ults. So, I mean, they've got to pop something early here. You would have thought maybe the Grid of Flux, and here it comes. They find 2 players in it.
Yeah, that's good. Zebra's going to just use the Meteor Strike. Going to land right back on top of the boat. Has very little health, negligible, but about 75. Does just Seismic Slam away. Somewhere off screen, Sugar Arrow decides to pop my Mare right between those Omnic eyes. Puts an extra hole in that metal head. Yeah, I mean, that cuts just Cerberus a little by surprise, and Bonzi buddies look like they're able to kind of set up here. What a shot! That's both supports. Oh, one. David! Oh my! Sugar River once again showing why we sing their praises so often.
Stand behind a wall, lads, otherwise he's gonna kill you. Unbelievable shots from Sugar Arrow, and you can see why he's rated so highly. And I mean, Cerberus are now in not a good, but they lose David again here early. They're in an awful position here, to be perfectly honest, but they still have pretty much all their ults available. So, maybe able to push out, but they are looking down the barrel of the Pulse Bomb and the Alari ults, which, I mean, you know, we've seen how big the Alari ult can be, but they might be able to block it. They do have the Sigma Eat.
think those shots from Shigeru are like still in the brains of Cerberus? I know they're still in mine right now. Like that, Cerberus looks scared to walk outside. They're like, "Where is Shigeru? I don't know." Otters is gonna pop, and Captain Sun here is looking to take down Alizé with it. Alizé making it quite a bit out. Mare has tried to rejoin, but she's gonna fall.
Oh, they're scattered
after with the
everywhere.
Transcendence in the pocket as well.
Just, I mean, it did actually look like Otters was going really low there. I mean, Otters was hitting every shot, but at the same time was going really low. But in the end, you know, Zebra managed to get on the back line, and he managed to make so much space that everyone gets killed. Cerberus, they're just not kind of in this fight at the moment. They're not playing together, and I mean, they've lost another player to Shigeru's Widowmaker, and it's really not looking good here. Backs against the spawn room, although someone is pushing the cart, and I think they do realize that now. It's the Sigma who was back capping. Right, that's an interesting one. He does get the
You
touch.
expect it to be, you know, maybe the Tracer,
Yeah.
possibly the Soldier.
Yep. I was not expecting it to be the Sigma who was on the back cap, but there they go.
The
They
Sigma's
get
just
it.
too quiet. No, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, just floats along.
He's got no
sneak
footsteps.
in. Never mind being like 7 foot tall. You know,
Yeah.
still, don't underestimate the sneakiness.
If Sigma wasn't supposed to flank, they would have given him footsteps, just like Zen. I mean, but talking about how far Cerberus got it, I mean, I think the answer is not very. I think the Sigma back cap got them about a third more than they had before. They're in deep trouble here. They are in deep, deep trouble. I mean, Shigeru's Widowmaker was murking them left, right, and center. But they just need to, as I said, chain together a couple of fights where they dig in. It's not impossible to full hold this point, to be perfectly honest. It's not actually a bad defender hybrid point, considering actually most defender hybrid points are actually not too bad. So, I mean, there is a chance of them full holding this. As they've gone for this poke comp again, and I think it's an interesting choice because I think that they do seem to not be able to cope when they get dived on in this comp, and maybe that might be solved by, you know, choosing the Ilari who can move the guy away or shoot him, or maybe even choosing Brig, going Brig Mercy, maybe not a popular choice. But I mean, does the Sigma really need, you know, all the Baptiste heals? I would say maybe not. Obviously, Zen's maybe a touch fragile to play into Zebra's Doomfist, but we're going to see the Genji here from Shigeru. I'm excited for this one.
The Ant Matrix also can provide so much space and pressure. You know, Zebra comes in, and you can use the Ant Matrix to keep the rest of the team at bay. I was thinking Cerberus need to have a couple fallback plans. They do start off on Griffin with some initial poke, already falling back to plan B. I think it's going to be all the way towards the back. It looks like Alizé was trying to hold up front, but the Baptiste is already gone. And this is looking like point A done and dusted.
Zomba and Shigeru just absolutely destroy everyone like it's 2016 again with the Tracer and the Genji. I mean, I don't see what Cerberus do here. They've got one more fight, and I mean, you never really take a fight this close, to be perfectly honest. I can't really remember a time where I've chosen to take a fight this close. So they don't really have any space to back up, and especially because Zebra is so far. Oh, Zebra looks like he's going to get a kill here.
Oh, they do David Solo, Coach Good use shield in from Alisson, and all the while, Cart is creeping closer and closer. It will only take one fight win for Bonzi to push this in. Shigeru, who's gone over to a Genji. Lands a volley,
desperately want to see a Dragon Blade Bull. I desperately want to see it.
You're only 30% away, Fish. It's close. It's close. Shigeru has 9 health. Has to find something.
Up there.
Anything. Has the deflect.
Oh,
it's going to be the dynamite that ends up doing Shigeru in. So, well, we have to wait a second for that blade, but there's, well, just now crossed the 5-minute mark on the clock. Plenty for Bonzi Buddies to work with. Oh, and look at this. They don't need much, do they? Zomba gets one in the back. I mean, just standing on point. Zebra is able to clean up Sina, Hydro, and Alizon. And this is Blizzard World looking done.
Yeah, it looks like the blade might be a celebratory dance, even if they get it up, which they're not. And the map is taken again. Map 2 taken by Bonzi Buddies. They are in absolute control of this series.
And it seems like you've got to have a plan B and a plan C, because Bonsai Buddies, they know what your plan B is going to be. They're already on top of it. They execute it before you do. At least that seems to be the case with Cerberus here thus far. Every time Cerberus seemed to have a fallback plan, Bonsai Buddies would beat them to the punch, would seem to know where they were going, and were there before Cerberus would even arrive. So what are you gonna do, Cerberus? What are you gonna do? I think we'll take a quick little break before we get into map number 3. Let me refresh the vocal cords. When we come back, it is Escort. We'll see you on Route 66 in just a minute.
Got lots of love. Love. 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 Got lots of love. Love.
Oh, Bonsai buddies, making short work there on Blizzard World. I gotta ask. I'm wondering, does every time Zebra dive in, does he just scream Bonzi? That's how I figure every dive happens for this team. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I mean, I would hope that is what happens, because that would maybe be the greatest comms that I've never heard. I mean, it's no, there's no doubt, is there, that when you want to, I mean, everyone knows you're diving if you just shout Bonsai.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go. All right, let us know. Like, y'all hit me on Twitter or something and let me know, because that should just be your new call for everybody go, if it's not already. It's 2-0 Bonsai buddies, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. It has not been very close, I'm going to be honest with you. Bonsai buddies have been very clean here today with their Doomfist compositions. They needed to win at least 2 maps to guarantee their spot in mid-season tournament next week. They have done that. Looking to clean 3-6.
Yep, they've managed to secure that spot in the mid-season tournament. They'll be wanting, however, they'll be wanting that top seed, so they would definitely be wanting to cleanly win this 3-0.
They are certainly on track to doing it. I mean, we've seen a couple different looks from Cerberus try to deal with this Doomfist. We saw Hydro coming in map number 2, and we saw a little bit of Lucio Mora look to try to perhaps avoid the Doomfist and just stay elusive. Did not work. Immediately, supports go down. Very first fight. It's back over onto the map. And so, as such, we're getting the sub as we are getting Akira coming back in the flex support role, and Hydro is coming back out. So Cerberus, again, going back to the lineup we saw in the first map. See if that's the ticket here, map number 3. Try to turn this around.
Yeah, there was maybe a space of about maybe 2 or 3 fights where I thought Cerberus actually dealt with Zebra quite well. They almost seemed to bait him in with the Brigitte like an easy dive target, and then they would pounce on him. But since then, he has probably still gone in just the same, but they haven't quite been able to punish him as they did. And I think, honestly, that's the only way Cerberus are going to get back into this game in any way is by punishing Zebra diving in, because if the space isn't made for the DPS, then they can't pop. We know how good these DPS are, but if the space isn't made, they're not going to be able to pop off anywhere near as much as they can.
We know, Sombra's kind of fallen out of favor with that 15% hit to her ultimate building. We saw a bit of the Sombra alongside the Brig there, Matt. Do you think that could be another fallback? Do you think it could work?
Yeah, the Sombra, obviously. The thing is about new Sombra and modern Overwatch 2 Sombra is playing with your team is not probably a great strategy, because it's quite hard to build the EMP, which is such a massive part of playing Sombra, is having that fight-winning EMP. And if you're playing with your team, you're not building the EMP, but then you maybe might as well play a different hero, because the hack is important. But remember, the hack only disables for 1 second now. So this idea of, playing Sombra to disable the enemy when they dive in is probably not quite as viable, and it's probably not quite as good for charging your EMP, because obviously ult charge so much slower in Overwatch 2. And then imagine effectively what's happened is Sombra has got basically what has become now a 40% debuff on the amount she charges since Overwatch 1.
Well, I think the extra damage that Sombra does is almost more important than the disabling of the abilities. Slowing that Doomfist down by that extra, second or two is certainly helpful, but it's that burst damage that I think could be useful. But either way, Cerberus electing to avoid that entirely. A completely new look, as they are going to start us off on the defense here in the blue jerseys for map number 3. Bringing out a bit of the Ramatra alongside some pseudo double sniper.
Yeah, they're going to hope to punch Zebra into next week before they get punched into next week. But it's going to be tough, because surely Zebra's just going to go on these double snipers, and he's playing on the low ground here, which is I think this is going to end really badly.
This isn't Zebra. Grim Reaper has moved over into the tank role. They fooled everybody. You see at the top of your screen, we didn't get it set right. It's still the result is the same. As Grim Reaper's able to make their way up top. Oh, that was nasty. That hurt. Akira is going to be in a big old ice pack for that jaw in the morning. My God.
After watching that, honestly, Bonzi Buddy's manager should be getting Zebra on the phone and talking about giving him the sack. Because honestly, Grim Reaper's Doomfist is quite good, actually.
Oh, this is fantastic. We've also got Sugar over into the support role as well. I guess technically, it's technically correct, although all the Yari, Sugar Arrow is just going to be nasty on this hero. Zebra does actually go down first, as Cerberus are able to recontest and pick up a couple. Nice recontest, as a matter of fact. Sugar Arrow is able to take down one, but Cerberus are going to stabilize, and that res comes through. Oh, but Alazon fallen. That's disastrous. That could be bad.
Otis finds the kill on the Tracer, and maybe he's better than Tracer than he is a player. He's a main spot.
Oh.
And Sugar Arrow
picks up 2 on cart. Sugar Arrow basically brought this back. Cerberus had this one in the bag. Like, they had the advantage in that fight.
Yeah, maybe they should role swap after this performance. They genuinely look. I know they're off-rolling, and maybe some might say that it's an unserious decision, but I think they do actually look quite competent on this, and I think this next fight is going to be interesting to see how it goes. So I think Bonzi are going to have to engage from side ground. They're going to put their Ilari on the high ground. They have the healing pollen down. They find a pick really well across the map of the David. Sugar Arrow finds another one. Show me the Sugar Arrow Pov. I want to see him hit people. He hits another. And here he goes. He puts the healing pollen down again. He's trying to find across the map another shot. Oh, he's missed it, but he's absolutely dominating, but he isn't hitting every shot. But he's not quite as good as he is on the Widowmaker. But as soon as we swap off the Pov, he finds another. Maybe for his sake, we should stay off Sugar Arrow's Pov. It's bad for Cerberus here. It is looking real bad. Bonzi Buddies just pushing on through with the off roll. And I mean, they're very good at these off rolls. I mean, everyone is good at these off rolls at this rank, probably apart from the main support players, although Otter does not do too bad on the Tracer. I know we are quite often bantered our main support. I mean, there we go. What got the Meteor Strike there takes down David, and Grip Reaper getting another. I mean, Grip Reaper is dominating on this Doomfist. You know, I mean, he's been getting lessons from Zebra, obviously, on how to play Doomfist, because this is just unbelievable. And another kill for Grip Reaper. He is dominating on the Doomfist. He's punching them into next week, and he's taking them down at any opportunity possible.
I think I'm back. I come back and we're already in point C. What on earth happened, Fish? What did I miss?
Sugarero murked the entire of Cerberus about twice. And then Grim Reaper got a team kill.
Grim Reaper continues to recap. Has the strike, easy jail, get out of jail free card. Decides to go ahead and play it here. It's a team kill in the back and just an enormous time bank.
Yeah, time back, absolutely huge. I mean, surely. I mean, I'm not sure we have the records, but this has got to be close to a CGL record if they cap this in this next fight. You would have thought. It's not often will we get this much of a time bank.
I mean, they were barely slowed, and that was back on point A. It doesn't look like they were slowed at all on point B from... Man, I didn't get to see any of it. Grim Reaper there with a good opening pick is already deep towards the spawn doors. Immortality Field getting battered down. Alazon using that ultimate, but just gets nothing with it. Sugar Arrow is able to pop him in the dome and cancel the annihilation, cancel the defense. Absolutely denied, shut down, non-existent from Cerberus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Bonzi plays so well there, even on the off rolls. But one thing I did see in that last fight is possibly the worst Riptide I may have ever witnessed from Zebra.
No.
Stick to Doomfist, lad. That was terrible. I mean, it popped it on top of the platform, moving away, and obviously he just got shot. I don't know what he was expecting to happen. I mean, obviously not quite his natural role on the Junkrat. Although it's very rare to see Junkrat. Maybe he's a Junkrat extraordinaire, a little pocket pick there. But honestly, if I had a recommendation, don't pick it again, Zebra. That was embarrassing.
Do you know that burger did not look very appetizing, and not for the reason you might think. It was the lettuce. The lettuce looked like it was made of plastic. It did not look appetizing. I think it looked less appetizing than Zebra's Junkrat, even. I'm not sure on that, though. We will. That's up for a debate.
Honestly, Zebra should just set in spawn after that Junkrat performance, to be perfectly honest.
Zebra, you're fantastic. We're just teasing you.
At Doomfist.
Bonzi buddies on the defense. No changes. Wonky as it may look to have your DPS on support and your supports on DPS. And what are your supports on tank? Why not? Bonzi buddies looking for a big hold here. Try to close out the series 3-0, close out the first half of the season in a perfect 12-0.
Grim Reaper gets slept outside the spawn. He somehow lives. But I mean, I'm not really sure what he was doing there, just standing outside the spawn room against an Ana. But definitely, you can see there's maybe a couple of holes in this because they are off-rolling, but they're still dominating. I mean, Zebra finds a trap kill. That's classic Junkrat luck.
I mean, I say Grim Reaper was getting Ana cooldowns out, right? Like, hey, I got Sleep out, I got Nade out, everything was thrown on Grim Reaper, yet they live.
Yeah, he's
Zomba with a good kill here.
Intentionless. I mean, Zomba's popping off on the bad team.
Yeah. Anytime that the Winston goes out first, that's not a good sign. I mean, look at this. Look at this coverage Bonzi Buddies has. Servers have nothing, no room to work with at all.
Yeah, I mean, Bonzi Buddies, we wanted to get, under about 20 meters here. And I mean, they find too early. Maybe Zebra's redeeming himself on the Junkrat, but he is kind of just sitting on top of the train and pressing his right click into the door, which is...
Grim Reaper just came out of nowhere, fell out of the sky, and put Mare and Sino against the wall. I mean, it was just nasty. I mean, takes Mare out of the fight. David falls off screen. Now, here we go again. It's a... Is he unultimate meteor strike. Like there's like mini meteor strikes happening all the time here, Fish.
Yeah, meteor strikes going. Just what's happening. The people just falling from the sky.
Yeah, it's just raining Doomfist.
Actual meteor strike coming in. I mean, it's almost popping off this round. Maybe consider another one. Someone needs to consider a roll swap. I mean, what a performance on the Baptiste this is.
Hey, don't go filling these DPS players' heads now. All right, don't be making them any bigger than they need to be. But I agree, Zaba and Cerberus both have been clicking some heads here, no doubt, with their sport heroes. Looks like an Matrix was used there. That's the ultimates. Cerberus have barely built up anything, nothing really substantial to work with to try to break this hold. The nano boost is like their only hope. What do you mean? Throw it on to Alizon and hope that they can find something. Alizon's gonna go in the back, immediately eats a mine, can't even get out, gets shut out of the sky before they're even done with their rocket punch.
Yeah, they're struggling. They're struggling really to get out of the spawn room here. I mean, the real problem is they just can't. I mean, they are just at this point playing mystery heroes. Alizon has changed over to the Winston. Maybe he can try and find access onto the Bonzi backline. I mean, he has the Nano Winston, so maybe
I believe it. I believe Nano engage. Come on, you got this, Cerberus. Get something. It's going to be a photon barrier to try to hold them off. That doesn't scare off a Winston. You dropped 2, but don't worry about it, Alizon. I believe. Go get something. You're a good. Oh, no. Tried to get honors. It was a good matchup with the Winston against the Smasher, but no. Zebra comes in and just throws you all the way down to the bottom of the gorge. And I think Alizon might have found the hopes and dreams of Cerberus down at the bottom of that gorge.
Well, yeah, he must have gone really deep to find them. Cerberus just jumped off the map. I presume that he doesn't understand how the ability worked, and he jumped off the map.
I don't know. I'm going to say that had to be like a hook from Alizon. It just didn't show it. We'll give Cerberus the benefit of the doubt. A couple of kills here. Speaking of, Cerberus have finally managed to genuinely break out of their spawn.
Yeah, they've got some space here now to work with, and I think the space actually would work with the Echo. They're on the Roadhog, and I think the Roadhog's actually not a bad choice, especially against people who maybe aren't quite used to their roles. They might not be positioned well, and if you hook them in, you'd hope they die, especially when you have the Echo to focus beam them down, and the Echo has that mercy pocket. But it's in OT now. They need to win this next fight.
And I understand the hog to break out. It's one of my favorite ways to break out on this when people are close holding. But try to actually run it into Big Earls is going to be a problem. Yeah, there's just nothing to block all of this damage coming in. Complete high ground control for Bonzi Buddies. Complete map control. Complete domination of this series. Bonzi Buddies will go into the mid-season tournament flawless. 4-0, 12-0 in map differential.
Yeah, what a performance from Bonzi Buddies. The first 2 maps, they were fairly dominant. I mean, on the 3rd map, it maybe showed their skills are different heroes, especially Grim Reaper on the Doomfist. He was impressive. I mean, Sugar Arrow as well on the Alari was also impressive. But, I mean, Alari's basically just Ash. So, it can't be much different from what Sugar Arrow is used to. I mean, yeah, such a commanding performance from Bonzi Buddies.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen Tree play a prominent NA DPS player play the ER. We saw Proper pull off the ER. Sugar Arrow has been the next DPS player to flip over and show some prowess there from the support lineup. It was fun to watch. It was clean. Hopefully our players had a good time. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it there at home. Fish, I had a blast casting with you. Any thoughts here on this just absolute stomp of a match we just watched?
I mean, you know, Bonzi Buddies look so good, actually. I mean, Cerberus aren't on a bad team, so it'll be very big for Bonzi Buddies going into their mid-season tournament, because I'd say they probably, after that performance and after seeing them in the past, you know, their past results, surely they have to go into this mid-season tournament as favourites, you would have thought. So, I mean, you'd say that maybe that could work against them with them being expected to win. But I think with them being so strong, I think that they will be confident they can take home the mid-season tournament championship.
I mean, I think we would have seen him play this comp even if Doomfist wasn't meta. Just so happens Doomfist is real darn strong right now. So Bonzi Buddies, very, very happy with things are sitting. I can't wait to see them next week in that mid-season tournament. It'll be going on all week long. We will be sure and bring you coverage of as many matches as we can across the different tiers here at CGL. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Big shout out to everybody behind the scenes. Let's see, I've got Rhino, Headrimmer, Elliot, and Boom, I believe, behind the scenes. And so thank them. Production, couldn't do it without them, y'all. Anyway. Y'all are awesome. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. It's been a blast, and we'll see you next week for Mid-Season Madness. Have a good night, my friends.
Yeah. 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 Memories. Memories.